500 years ago, you did not have to deal with tons of mercury being pumped into the air with pesticides drowning your food, microwaves bouncing all over the sky. We live in a toxic world. And what are you going to do about it? We're going to discuss that next. Or maybe next. Maybe next. Welcome, everybody. This is the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. And we are coming to you from the wilds of Vancouver Island in Canada and the wilds of Kruger Park in South Africa. So if I stop, you know why. And Martin, are you moving?
If I go like this, it's because there's earthquake.
You're not moving. So that is why George noticed right away that I had nice headgear, and what can I say?
It's a beautiful hat.
It's a beautiful hat. It's a Tilly hat. It's what you wear when you're on safari. So yesterday I saw giraffes, I saw hippos, I saw rhinos, I saw lions eating a giraffe. I saw giraffes that were not being eaten by lions. I saw a dead elephant laying in the jungle, which had already been started to be eaten by other animals. Lots of deer, impalas, hippos, and crocodiles, and even a tortoise. Wow. So, but I'm in Africa. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi is not quite as good here as I had hoped, which is why things aren't like as smooth as normal, but I just wanted to share that's where we were. That's why the hat. And with that, Martin, how are you doing?
It's good. Just remember that I have a show starting at the top of the hour, so I'll have a hard stop at the minute mark. As far as how I am doing, well, I have started the metabolic typing course, which is a 12-week coached affair. So tonight is my first day. So there's a whole bunch of activity swirling around it. The first cohort is going through, and that's good for our people. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome news. It's really exciting. We're going to be changing the lives of a lot of people with that course and that knowledge.
Yeah, and that is something I really want to be reminded of and tell people that, there's a whole pile of information packed between these two ears, and it's something that when I'm gone, I would like to leave behind in an AI agent so you can talk to it even when I'm not able. Because
we have the technology.
I think it has the value of being done. So, Scott, that's going to be our next project, is we're going to stuff everything I know into an AI agent.
Awesome. That's one of the things I've been dreaming of doing. And we have the technology, we have the knowledge, we just have to get it done.
Yeah.
So toxicity. Before we get into all the different environmental toxicities, I want to talk about one that is, in my mind, it's always the straw that breaks the camel's back, and that is mental and emotional toxicity. So here I am. I'm in Africa. I'm having a wonderful time, and the place I'm at is a small tent lodge. Right now, I'm the only person here. There's probably 10 tents. They're not like the tents I grew up in that, you put on with little wires and stuff. These are really nice tents. And last night there was a hyena howling and laughing outside my tent, which scared the bejeebies out of me because I'd never heard anything like it. It wasn't at all like you hear on Disney's, Lion King movies. But
it was not sanitized. Hey?
It just was terrifying. So anyway, in the process of being here these last couple of days, because it's not a large place, it's not a place that, they don't have 50 items on the menu. They actually just come up and they say, these are, this is one choice, this is another choice for dinner, right? And so they said, choice number 1 is chicken. Choice number 2, giraffe meat. And I go, giraffe meat? Like, you can eat giraffe meat? Never heard of it. And they said, yeah. So what do you want? I'm in Africa. I'm pushing the boundaries of my comfort zone already.
Giraffe it is.
Giraffe it is. Okay. So I take a picture. It comes in a little metal bowl, and it looks like stew. And it tastes like stew. The meat of the giraffe, assuming that everybody is telling the truth, and I have no reason to doubt it, it tastes like beef. So
why should it not, right?
Yep. It certainly should not taste like a chicken, right? They're not at all like chickens, but they're certainly like other animals that are on four legs and eating vegetable stuff. So I take a picture, I post it, I say, I'm in Africa, I'm at this lodge, and they served me giraffe meat. Am I a liar? Maybe, right? Do you need to get upset if you think I'm a liar? I don't think so. It's as innocuous a thing as possible, right? There's a picture. Yeah. This is what it is. So this guy that I've had interactions with and seen his stuff on my feed in Facebook forever gets all pissed off at me. And I'm like, what?
What was his objection? You eating giraffe, or you're making up a story?
Well, he thought I was lying and making up a story, and he was upset that I was eating giraffe. And so he does something which I think really shows the challenges of our society today. He goes to AI and he says, can you eat giraffe meat? No, does this lodge serve giraffe meat? Because he knows the place, right? Because I'm open about it. Why wouldn't I be? And and it says, no, we never serve giraffe meat at this lodge. And I said, you've taken a picture of their Facebook page. Why didn't you just send them a message? Now, you're not going to get an instant answer because there's like 6 or 10 hours difference, but you're going to get it straight from the horse's mouth or the giraffe's mouth. Instead, no, you've got to go to AI, and then you have to believe AI, right? So I went online and I said, can you eat giraffe meat? Is it legal? It's illegal to hunt giraffes, but the giraffes aren't hunted by very many things, so they all grow up. And we have an overpopulation of giraffes. So there's some organization.
Scott, I want a little sidebar. I think it was a zoo somewhere in Denmark that was having to sacrifice a giraffe because their breeding program was too successful, and they were having to feed this young male giraffe to the lions that they have in their zoo because the giraffe was surplus giraffe. Like, you can only have so many.
Right. So basically, these people keep an eye on the population. They say, okay, we've got like 10 too many giraffes. So they go out and they kill the giraffes, hopefully humanely, and then they use everything. You're in a poor country. Why would you, just let it rot in the field or something, right? So some butcher butchers it up, and they use as much of it as they can. And there are certain places you can go that are licensed to sell giraffe meat, and this place goes there and gets giraffe meat.
All right, all good. You ate giraffe.
So he just went on and on, and then at the end, like right at the end of the conversation, he was like, well, you've just been going on and on and on about this. And I go, I've been answering your objections to my original post. I haven't been going on about anything. And that's when I realized that you have to remove toxic, particularly Facebook people that you've never met in person, toxic individuals from your life, because they cause a whole pile of stress, a whole pile of drama. And I was really shocked because the stuff he posts is all about stuff that you and I would agree with, generally speaking. And I thought, why is this guy going on and on and on about giraffe meat and whether it, like, it's totally unimportant. It's like Do you want cream in your coffee or not? No, I don't. Well, you don't have cream in your coffee. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, look at
George said,
every
I
time.
live in solitude. Me too, George. And so
You
I
know,
blocked it.
there's a line before that, which is, could you highlight that? That I just love it that he actually knows the correct use for the word misanthrope.
So for those of us that don't, Martin, could you enlighten us, please?
I just don't like people.
Yeah, I
I would
totally agree with
prefer
you,
to hang
George.
out with wolves, you know.
That the hyenas, they were noisy for then partying for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then they were quiet the rest of the night. So I can handle that.
Yeah.
But
All
it
right.
just struck
Well, I tell you,
it.
Scott, I had an experience with Facebook and the social media some years ago that is perhaps worth sharing a little bit too, which was I uh, I took an order. It was for CBD by a young woman who was in pain, and she's a mother of an autistic child, and she is poor, and she needed her stuff. She made a typo in her email address.
Hmm.
She did not get a response from us. Wouldn't you know it? How could you get a response if you make a typo in the address? Anyway, then she went and mentioned that she did not get a response from us on Friday on a social media site. When I came back to work on Monday, my entire Facebook was covered and plastered by one person who hit every possible post that they could get their hands on, accusing me of being a uncaring bastard corporation that takes money away from single mothers and whatever, right? Like just, but I mean, crapped all over the whole thing, right? So when I connected with this woman, the gal that was the victim, she said, I didn't do anything. I just mentioned that I didn't hear back. And I said, well, here we are. We're shipping your stuff. It's Monday morning. We'll ship it out to you. Could you please reach out to this person and ask them to undo? And so she said she did. But the person out there, who was the angry one, said, they are the bastard corporation. I'm not taking anything back. So it was interesting, right? And I don't know what triggered this other volunteer do-gooder into doing what she did. I
Right.
can only imagine that there's some stored up um, victim situation that she felt justified in just throwing her weight all around because she could. The social media let her.
I feel the same way about this guy. I feel like there was something bothering him about something, and for some reason he just focused totally on me
Yeah.
and what I posted, right? And
Yeah,
so there's
because
kind of
you
like,
were there. You were there.
yeah,
It was not
yeah,
about you. It was not about you. It was not about the giraffe.
right, right.
Yeah.
So let's all hope that yeah, George agrees with us. And we deal with this a lot in the fibromyalgia group. I often feel like King Solomon, right? Because two people are going at it, and I'm trying to figure out, like, who's being excessive, or who needs to calm. They both need to calm down, and they're not, right? And so oftentimes we get these triggers, and it is really important to recognize, I'm being triggered, and is this important or not? And the answer is always pretty much no. I think, if it involves
Yeah.
bodily harm or abuse of other people, then yeah, probably really important to stand your ground. But when it comes to whether you have cream in your coffee or giraffe meat in your stew, probably a lot of other things you could be spending your time and energy on, right?
All
So
right.
we kind of wanted to talk about the emotional, just to tie this all back, the emotional toxicity that you surround yourself with. I have
Yeah.
a friend who's got a brother who's narcissist, who is really bullying this poor guy, right? And it's like he's had to change his name. He's had like on social media, and he's had to do all these things. And I'm kind of like, you know, is your brother part of the CIA that he can find out everything and hammer you with it? And on
People
the
who
other
get
side,
angry, yeah, Scott, people who get angry are sometimes willing to expend inordinate amount of energy on something that doesn't deserve it. It just
yeah,
boggles the mind. A friend of mine recently told me that there's 3 siblings, 2 girls, 1 boy. The mother dies of old age. The estate is being processed, and the brother decides to just make life miserable for the 2 sisters. Goes to exceeding lengths, just whatever, and lying in front of a judge because it took all the way to court and just lying. And finally, they found somebody who's got enough money to just absolutely quash the damn thing to make it go away. But this
right.
guy was willing to just go all out beyond reason, right? Like once somebody gets triggered, they are going nuclear regardless. I don't care if I kill everyone. I don't care if you kill me back. We're going in.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a comic character who has a TV show now from DC Comics called Peacemaker, and he wants to bring peace to the world, even if he has to kill people to get it.
There we go.
There we go.
A friend of mine had a beautiful saying. This is sort of like fornicating for virginity, right?
Yeah.
It's a movement. Let's fornicate for virginity. It's fighting for peace. Equivalent.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
toxicity, emotional. Yeah. I bet you that the giraffe was one of the healthiest piece of meat you have had in many, many days.
Yep. That's
right. Not a lot of plastic pollution in the. This is Serengeti, the Kruger Park, right?
This is Kruger. It's down in South Africa, not in the
No, it's not
Serengeti. So
Serengeti. Okay.
it's as far south as you can go, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's right beside Mozambique.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it was delicious. I mean, it was delicious meat, good meat, not a lot of fat, and tender.
Yeah.
Well, because it was in a stew, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking, the giraffe neck, that's going to be a very muscular thing,
A lot of meat.
Yeah. All right.
These
cool.
things are huge.
Yeah. What is it? 18 feet or something like that?
Yeah. It's way up.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some things people can, well, first of all, if someone's being triggered, they're probably acidic, right?
Well, okay. So acidity brings us anxiety. Alkalinity brings us procrastination and depression. So if you're losing patience and if you're easily triggered, your pH is off on the acidic side. No question. Yeah. So
yeah. And if you had been,
if you're an oxidizer,
basic or alkaline,
if you're an oxidizer, you need fat. If you're autonomic, you need carbs. It's not the same solution for everyone.
Right. And if he'd have just been alkaline, he would have procrastinated to the point of never making any comments on my post, and we would be fine.
Yep. Yeah. Also, people who are on the alkaline side tend to have a higher emotional intelligence. They have the they have the gap, right? Like when you have as input, you have the option of either reacting instantly or taking a gap and responding with wisdom. The acidic people are reacting instantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. And you're right. Like when someone does something I don't like it, I don't normally react right away. I think, let me just think about this for a second. In fact, when I was married and I got really, really mad at my wife, ex-wife now, I once I was so mad, I kicked the coffee table over and got up and just left, walked around the block and then and had time to, like, because I was not thinking, and then I had time to think about it, and went in and said, okay, well, here's the problem, and this is what we need to address. And she said, I didn't think you were coming back. that was like early in the marriage.
Yeah.
I wasn't the
All
one that
right.
left. So what are some
Okay.
of the things that we can take, because we only have 8 minutes left? What are some of the things that we could take to help us not be triggered so much? And I happen to have two items which may or may not be appropriate, because I was thinking
Well,
about more physical toxicity, but I
yeah.
had holoimmune as one.
Well, holoimmune is a lovely thing, but that has more to do with immunity than not. Yeah, that's just not getting sick, right? What what we're dealing with here is that the toxic world. Are you toxic with heavy metals, plastics, volatile organic compounds, whatever, that industrial age toxicity? You want to take that out. Zeolite is my go-to suggestion. The next best thing after that is iodine, and the next best thing to support that is magnesium. And
Right.
then next best thing to support that is chlorophyll and other green things like aura greens, which is a mix of kamut, alfalfa, barley, mm, wheatgrass, barley grass, all that really green chlorophyll rich stuff. That's the most parasympathizing food, which is that the emotional intelligence, right? When you
Right.
have enough chlorophyll on board, you're the opposite of autistic, which is interesting.
And
They just
George wants to know about activated charcoal.
Okay, well, that's an awesome absorber, right? Like when you take charcoal, it's why do we have activated charcoal filters to filter toxins out of the water before we drink it? Because we don't want those toxins. So when you swallow the charcoal, it's going to do the same thing in your body. It will allow to absorb toxic things, and on its way through, it will remove things that shouldn't be there. Yeah, awesome.
When I think of charcoal, I think of the charcoal in the barbecue pit, and I'm not really that keen on swallowing it. So, like, how do you take it?
It's very similar to that. we take it in the form of humic acid, which is shredded and dissolved in water. That's probably the best. We don't sell
So I'm
activated
not chomping
charcoal.
on an old charcoal from the fire pit.
Yeah. Go into your campfire leftovers, find some charcoal bits. Well, actually, that is the very thing, and crush it and mash it and get it in your body. You bet. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a good thing.
Well,
It is a good thing.
if somebody told me 6 months ago I'd be eating giraffe meat, I'd be pretty freaked out. So these are all things that you just need to take time to acclimatize to and get adjusted to, and
Yeah,
add to your health regimen.
mm. Yeah. Just to be on the record, I would not hesitate to eat giraffe meat with you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
it's
Yeah,
not. I'm not anti anything.
well, and this guy says, you know what? Thank you, George. George says, me too. Uh, he even says, like, I have no problem going hunting and shooting a deer and taking it home and, slicing it up and cooking it. But
Okay, then.
some reason the giraffe was just taboo to him. I have no
Well,
idea what was
I
going
can
on.
relate. There are some people who will object to eating guinea pigs, which is a custom in South America, Peru, or whatever.
True. Yeah. My sister had two guinea pigs as growing up. So I can't imagine eating sassafras or smeagol.
Terrible. And likewise, when I was growing up, I grew up in a really interesting world where we had pheasants and hares and all kinds of stuff. My dad, as a veterinarian, would look after hunting dogs of the hunters in the village, and they would often pay him back with what they shot, not with money. We were rich
Right.
in life. We were not necessarily rich in cash. And yeah,
I'll
anyway,
take rich in life every day.
yeah. So zeolite, better water. Make sure that the water you're drinking is structured. See these little bits. Make sure you have that. You want to structure your water before you drink it. You want to filter the water before you drink it, especially if you're on city water anywhere in North America. And
Right.
then well, charcoal, filter it. Yeah. And if you want, eat humic acid or swallow humic acid. That's the ticket. It will act as a low grade passive filtration system passing through you. Yeah.
Nice. And I think that's so important. We really need to clean up our acts, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm amazing how reasonably well the Wi-Fi
right.
is holding up. It's only a couple of small blips
Yeah.
here and there.
I'm happy too, because it was really bad an hour and a half ago.
Okay.
Which is why I warned you and I warned John and everybody, let's make sure this goes smoothly. So, Martin, we've got 2 minutes left. Leave us with some words of wisdom, generally speaking, about your people's health.
Well, one of the really common problems in North America is hypothyroidism, which is brought on by genetics. About half the people are thyroid types, and not enough iodine in circulation, and not enough magnesium to support it, and not enough selenium to work with it. So if you find yourself under functioning, you probably have the MTHFR, you're probably the thyroid type, you're probably needing to fix your world, and it's not being addressed by the mainstream policies. So you need to find somebody that's going to help you unpack your current situation, understand the nuances and the specifics, and give you suggestions on what's going to get you to a better place.
Awesome. And you've had 40 years of going from being in a very, very bad place, full of pain and your body falling apart in your 20s, to being a vibrant, healthy, active, strong, medicated-free person over 50.
Me, over 50?
Are you not over 50?
No, this is
over
my
60.
This is my 73rd, brother.
And I hope we're all like you and we're that age and continuing on. And that's one of the things I was just thinking about the other day, was as I was walking, around this area that I'm in, was, there's no reason not to keep our health and our activity. And we don't have to be bent over on using a cane or having tubes stuck in all these different places. We just need to look after our body the way it was meant to be looked after.
Yeah. And it is toxicity, malnutrition, stagnation, and trauma. Today, we spoke about trauma. We talked about stagnation, move around, walk about. We talk about malnutrition, eat the nutrients that will support you, and toxicity, keep the crap out.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This has been the Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. Come out and join us again next week, Wednesdays, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Thank you and goodbye.
Hey. Hey.